The women's team, Susanna Dong for the Black Pearls, Yvonne Najuma and Justin Angushia. I especially liked Justin Angushia. Number 13 for the Nile Rapids, you remember her for sure. Number 13 for the Nile Rapids, power ball carrier, very good on the set pieces, but also in space she was able to move the ball very well. When we move to the playmakers, I think Carolina Nena was overall series MVP. And the MVPs were not named for both men and women. And I'm thinking maybe the union is reserving the MVPs for the awards night. And I hope the awards night happens. So we have Carolina Nena of the Walukuba Titans. What a revelation, not just on the first stop, but going all the way to push her team. They might have just reached one final, but they did well as a whole, especially through her using that deceptive running pace of hers. I think Avengers started well, then they dropped the ball a bit, but Maimuna Nasozi still stood out on top, especially, and I have added her for one simple reason, just because of someone who can put conversions on the board. You're a good and exceptional playmaker, good pass selection and all, but the option of having someone who can give you the extra two, which can make a difference. Habiba Namalembe's second season that she's on my team of the series, I think she's been one of the most consistent players in the series as a whole. She's with the She-Wolves. Last year she got a nod to play for the Lady Rugby Cranes Safari Sevens. I hope that this time it can materialize at the end of the year. Then, I mean, if you're looking at an out-and-out finisher, what way other than the top try scorer, Kamfa Tanganyika of the Thunderbirds, someone you know you'll give the ball and she will make sure that she does the finishing. In space, with no space, going all the way to touchdown. My men's team starts with Brian Simiyu of the Elgon Wolves. The biggest man on the 7 series was wearing number 1.
Oh, number 1, yeah.
No way you could have missed him, Brian Simiyu. And I think he was probably on the top try scorers list. Now I looked at, for my other forwards, I looked at Fat Moses Watmon, a capable leader for the Buffaloes, exceptional player by a country mile, and I would be very surprised if anyone does not have him on their team, you know, Fat Moses. Unfortunately missed out on the final stop because of suspension, but he still had done enough already to be on this team. The hooker, I debated between Moses Oreny and Jeremiah Ojambo, and I chose Jeremiah Ojambo for the simple reason that he is one of the, I can say, nominees for up and coming rugby player, like rising player. Yeah, breakout player of the series. I felt he played well through the series. You're thinking maybe you want a pass or two from him. Maybe sometimes he could have passed, but overall he was a good ball carrier for the Pirates, good defender as well, and I liked him. My playmaker is none other than, and for me my MVPs for the 7 series are the number 9s. Ivan Bulima for the men. Many a time he's one of the most underrated players. We have ignored the impact that he has on this Walukuba Barbarians team as a team which will work as a unit, but when they get stuck at a certain point, there are a few players who will stand up for Walukuba Barbarians, and Ivan Bulima is one of them. I have played Daniel Otim at half-back as well, as opposed to the wing, for the simple reason that he's able to make things happen, both in close spaces, but then also in close contact, but then also with open spaces, especially with that kick and chase through. I liked how he played for the Buffaloes. Maybe injury, maybe a few missed matches here and there, but he still played well in my view. And then for number 6, I had to choose between Shakim Sembusi and Matthew Lucas, still Walukuba Barbarians, but I like Shakim Sembusi in how he has put his head down and done the dirty work for this Buffaloes, for this Barbarians team. You remember the nasty carries that he had in the Kabale Sevens. You remember the Rujumba Sevens and how he pushed this Walukuba Barbarians team to the very limit. Then my finisher, out and out winger for Heathens, Julius Oyuk, top try scorer. Even when Walukuba were working so hard to ensure that Gift Okorach is the top try scorer, Julius Oyuk scored 39 tries, winning that 49 tries, winning that award by just 1 try against Gift Okorach. What a tournament that the youngster has had.
This is this week's edition of the Playbook. Absolutely an intriguing one. It looked like a lost cause, even to the players that were supposed to defend the moment, but someone stuck to their guns, did what was expected of them, And that result, that reward, was one that truly put the Heathens on the front foot. Ernest.
Yeah, I sat and thought about all the things that we've talked about in the 7 series, the tactics, running the loop pass, that cutting the passing lane. We've talked about the chip and chase with Soki, the scrum itself and what you can do from that set piece. But I felt at the end of the day what defined the 7 series was how much effort the teams put in, but how that effort varied. You look at that play, Heathens are 12 points up on the Pirates, and it's a comfortable lead. It's the second half. All they have to do is weather the storm. But they pick up the ball off a loose pass from Alex Aturinda. Aaron Foyeth gets it. You can see Dennis Etwao communicating and say, send it to me through. And this is the fastest sprint you will ever see. Arnold Atkunda is one of the fastest guys we have on the series. Roy Chizito, one of the fastest you have on the series. Dennis Etwao, we know his middle name is Speed. But what makes the difference between those three is that Roy Chizito is the first to sort of give up on the chase of that ball. He reduces his speed from a full sprint, as you can see, to a bit of a jog just at the 22. Arnold Atkunda reaches the 5, starts jogging, but Dennis Etwao is full throttle all the way and scores the try. There will be a contest on whether the try was scored or not, but there is an assistant referee in the in-goal area. He has the best view of it and he has awarded that try. That is a reward when you're chasing lost causes. That's what made the difference in the final for Heathens against the Pirates. This is on attack. On defense, it's even more, I think, more rewarding when you chase what looks like a lost cause on defense. We'll take a look at the Rhinos against the Walukuba Barbarians. From a set piece, Moses Ali is at number 9. Ivan Bulima, who was the best player on the 7 series, picks up the ball and then runs a very good line against the Rhinos. And Moses Ali chases him from the very start up to the end, going all the way. And as Ivan Bulima, I think he relaxed a bit. He has done all the hard work. He knows that Moses Ali is following him. Maybe could have been from an offside position, but Moses Ali chases him. Davis Chimwa is beaten for pace. And look at Moses Ali. Try is almost assured, but he goes, slaps that ball a bit out of his hands. And it's a try scoring opportunity for the Barbarians denied. Had this try been scored, it would have made the difference for the Barbarians. Perhaps a comeback, because they had done the same thing against the Mongas. They had done the same thing against the Eagles on day 1. But on day 2, Moses Ali chasing a lost cause. And that's what enabled the Walukuba Barbarians, the Rhinos, to beat the Walukuba Barbarians and avenge that Kabaka Coronation 7 semi-final loss. I think those 2 moments on attack, on defense, have been some of the defining moments of the 7 series, where teams decide that we are going to play all out, chase that lost cause, and the higher the risk, the higher the reward.
Sometimes it's just a question of who wants it more, and the easiest way to quantify that is by who's willing to put their money where their mouth is. So congratulations to all the teams that had the ability to keep the chase going, even for what seemingly looked lost causes. Now, when you look back, they weren't that lost. They were waiting to be taken. All right, moving on, let's get into some of the news that did transpire this particular week. 10 years, 4 Rugby Africa 7 titles, and about 2 Rugby World Cup appearances later, among a plethora of other accolades and other achievements. Coach Tolbert Onyango, Toli, as is popularly known at Chadondo Rugby Club, decided to step down from his position as the National Sevens head coach. And, well, he'll now concentrate on the franchise at Chadondo Rugby Club, known as the Platinum Credit Heathens.
This is one of my favorite photos of Coach Tolbert Onyango with the smile when things had almost failed. But the Uganda Men Sevens at the Africa Sevens in Mauritius, he got out a way of winning those tournaments. I think he's been, if we were to describe Coach Tolbert Onyango and his time at the Uganda Men Sevens, maybe some of the words you'll use are impact, you'll use legacy, you'll use maybe sacrifice, because he's been there for not only for the team but also for the players that he has had in the program. But for me, I think one of the things that and this has been the theme of the announcement ever since the announcement was made. This is like a thank you for the time that he has served the nation, not just the 10 years for this tenure from 2014 2014-2015 season to now the 2025-2026 season. But even the development that he put in the years past, in the earlier stints with the national team, I think we enjoyed a beautiful time with the Uganda Sevens that we would have never imagined in the world. And that's courtesy of that gentleman over there, taking us to the World Cup twice. Exceptional. Uganda had no business being at the World Cup, but we were rubbing shoulders with some of the biggest players, and we got a chance at beating them.